So I'm just going to jump right into it again because this is essentially an addendum video to the video that I uploaded just a couple of days ago where I was talking about the toxicity that exists in the world of Star Wars fandom. Now, obviously, I wasn't talking about every Star Wars fan. I think that should go without saying. Nuance, people. Nuance. But I was more specifically talking about those who have a vested interest in seeing the Rise of Skywalker fail. They don't just want it to fail, they need it to fail because they have created an identity around their YouTube channel or whatever the case is in being proven right. I mean, they need this thing to fail because they've spent blood, sweat, and tears for the last 2 years bashing Disney, Star Wars, and J.J. Abrams and The Last Jedi. And I'm no Last Jedi fan, by the way. I think it's a dog shit show of a movie. But there are people that have a vested interest in seeing this movie fail. And that's what I was talking about. I was talking about the real toxicity that exists. Now, I'm certainly not going to start doing these videos on the regular because that would be incredibly ironic and kind of go against the points I was making in that video. But the reason I'm doing this video is because something happened to me today that is the perfect example of the overall point that I was trying to make in that video, among the many points that I was trying to make. So this morning, I received a message from a viewer, and they said, Dave, did you see the video where the cast of The Rise of Skywalker pretty much, hates the ending of The Last Jedi? And I was like, oh my God, no, I didn't see this. That's awful. So I click on the link that they provided, and it was from an interview from Monday afternoon. And I was kind of surprised by this because I watched this live feed Monday afternoon. It's the one where it was JJ and the cast from Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. And they have, the Millennium Falcon as the backdrop. Maybe you watched it too. And Tiffany Smith, I believe, is the interviewer. And when I started to watch this, in my mind, I'm thinking, what the hell? I watched this whole thing. I don't remember anything like that. Did I miss something huge? Well, the last question, and I'm going to show you the clip, the last question that Tiffany asks is basically, I'm paraphrasing, but she basically says, now, I know you can't say anything, but can you show through a facial expression what you thought of the ending of the movie? And now I had known when watching this interview, because John Boyega, I think, even tweeted about it, and I think somebody else did too, that the cast was watching the movie on Tuesday, and this was Monday afternoon, so the cast hadn't even seen the movie yet. So they don't really know how to respond, and they all look to JJ like, what can we say, what can't we say, and all that kind of stuff. And you even clearly hear Anthony Daniels say to JJ, what's the ending of the movie? How does it end? Or something to that effect, right? And then everybody kind of laughs, and they're all kind of doing weird faces. John Boyega and Oscar Isaac kind of have poker faces. And then Anthony Daniels, who, as we know, is a showman, I mean, let's be honest here, starts to quip. And he's like, this is the ending of the movie after 40 years? Oh my God. He's joking around. Now, some of you out there, and don't worry, I'm going to show you the clip. I'm going to show you the clip in a minute. Some of you out there who have actually already seen the clip, you might be thinking to yourselves, well, now, Dave, Tiffany Smith actually phrased the question like this. What was your reaction to the ending of the movie? Not, have you seen the ending of the movie? And we all know that they were there shooting the ending of the movie. So, I mean, they can certainly tell us their reaction to the ending of the movie without actually having seen the ending of the movie, right? Well... Yes, I guess technically they could, but there is a big difference between, actually being on set and living through the often monotonous, redundant, tedious shooting days, often out of sequence, of a major high-profile $200 million film like a Star Wars movie, and actually seeing it in the comfort of a screening room or a theater, and it all come together with the music and the sound effects and the sound design and the pacing and the timing and the glitz and the glam. And it's a big difference. But let's say you're right. Let's say you are right. And the entire cast there of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, just loathed the ending of that movie. And they were trying to inconspicuously, or not so inconspicuously, through their facial expressions, let you know, the Star Wars fans at home, how much they hated the ending of The Rise of Skywalker. Do you think they're going to do that on a live feed that no doubt Disney is watching in front of their boss, J.J. Abrams, who's sitting right beside them? Gee, I hope J.J. doesn't notice my horrible face. Gee, I hope JJ doesn't notice my face of contempt. Gee, I hope JJ doesn't notice I'm not really reacting. Gee, I hope JJ doesn't. I mean, come on, guys. They're joking around, like I said. And then Anthony Daniels, the showman, because he even says, what's the ending? And then, everybody's laughing and he just plays along. He's like, this is the ending of the movie. They're joking around because they don't have the context. They don't have the emotional context because they haven't seen the ending of the movie yet. And they're not going to respond from the subjective point of view of making the movie because that doesn't mean anything, right? They need to actually have the emotional response having seen the movie. And at that point, Monday afternoon, none of them had. And that's what was going on there. I didn't even think twice about it. And let's not forget that these actors are especially in these high-profile films, many of them are contractually obligated to do these press junkets and these tours and these talk shows, whether it's Fallon or Kimmel or Corden or whatever. They're contractually obligated to talk positively about the movie because it's part of the studio's marketing campaign. Okay, so even if they thought it in their own minds, they're not going to sit there and go, gee, I hope the fans at home are noticing. Hope JJ's not noticing me. Come on, guys, you're better than that. You're smarter than that. Okay? Anyway, here's the clip that apparently has got everybody going, you see? I told you we were right. And then I'll show you another clip that just essentially puts all that to bed. Here's the first clip.
Final question, and I'm just going to preface this by saying, don't use any words, okay? Just facial expression.
Okay.
What was your reaction to the end of the movie? But don't use words, okay? Ready?
How does it end?
3, 2, 1. I'm not sure what Dave was looking around.
After 40 years, this is it. What are you thinking?
These two here have not broken. This is hilarious.
I don't know about you guys, but at no point in time did I actually think they were being serious. But that's me. But anyway, so this afternoon, having watched that clip, I went online and I dug a little deeper and I found another clip from the same afternoon, but this time from a different media outlet, Extra TV. And the woman in this interview actually, and it's the same day, it's the same afternoon. Obviously, they sit there in the chairs and one interviewer comes in, leaves, and then another one, maybe there's a pee break or something, and then they do it all over again with somebody else. And this interviewer asked specifically point blank, have you seen the movie yet? And everybody said no. No, they hadn't. And John Boyega, even as I just showed you, tweeted out that they were watching it the next day anyway. So they didn't have any context to how it's all put together. The only one that had seen it was obviously J.J. Abrams. And then Anthony Daniels begins to sort of quip and talk about it and how he has trust in JJ that, it's going to be good. And then he makes a joke. Like he says, can you imagine if this was the end and that was it and blah, blah, blah. They're joking around, guys. Anyway, here's that clip that should put all this to bed.
Who do you think is going to be the most emotional watching it? Have you guys seen the complete finished film yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, JJ's
I think
JJ's
they've seen
been
it
crying
more
about
times
it.
than anyone ever will.
How is it?
Anthony, this has been a long journey for you.
It's been a super long journey. And can you imagine if I came to the end and it was a real dud and you think, what was all that about? Well, he's listening, but I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good way to end.
You feel good about it?
I feel very good. I haven't seen it yet, JJ. What do you think? Am I going to like it?
I think you will. I think you will.
I trust you.
So there you have it. I hope it puts it to bed, but it's not going to. It's not going to, because you will have people going, oh, they're just lying. They're just lying. The other video was the truth, but this video is fake. Oh, of course. Silly me. Of course. You know what I mean? It's a fucking shit show. The entire, these channels and this, you see it, it's nothing but, it's very, again, like I said in my previous video, it just makes me sad because I think it's so important. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't even have to go see it. But when you start spreading misinformation and you start intentionally trying to drive a narrative that is not based in any sort of evidence or facts, it's just based on your emotional feelings on what you're seeing without digging deeper, I have an issue with that. And I try my best. I'm not always successful. I've been wrong. We all have. But for those of you that have been watching me for a long time, especially when it comes to the Halloween shit, I always do my best to try and bring you the objective point of view, to remove my whatever I think on it, to bring you the objective point of view. That's why I can not cover, because I'm not a news outlet, but talk about Halloween Kills, even though I wasn't a big fan of the 2018 film. I can still talk about it objectively and what I think they should do, or, the news that drops and, cross-reference, because I'm not coming at it from an emotional standpoint. I'm coming at it as objectively as possible because you guys deserve that. We all deserve that. Every fan deserves that, so it's just, hopefully this puts it to bed. The actors had not seen the ending. They were not responding in some sort of, oh my God, the ending is horrible. That's not what was going on there. They didn't know how to respond. They didn't know what to do with their faces because they had no emotional context to go on because they hadn't seen the ending of the movie. So they were just all farting around and having fun. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. That's going to be the last of this. I'm putting it to bed. I can't wait for the Rise of Skywalker in a couple of weeks. I hope that it's good, but we shall see. We shall see. You never know. All right. You know the drill. In the meantime and in between time, Facebook and shit links and all that kind of stuff. I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.